number 5, J.J. Bailey. At midfield, a junior, number 18, Josh Riley. At stopper, a junior, number 2, Matt Moser. At fullback, a sophomore, number 3, Ben Corison. At midfield, a sophomore, number 8, Justin McBride. At midfield, a sophomore, number 9, Matt Rogers. At forward, a freshman, number 10, Alex Beltier. At halfback, a freshman, number 12, John Corison. At forward, a freshman, number 7, Greg Wright. At in goal, a sophomore, Justin Kern. The head coach of the Eagles is Mr. Paul Lyon. Our officials for today's Division 4 Championship point game, the referee, Manny Villalta.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Greg Porter for George Lyon of Video Sports Productions, high atop the stadium here at Southwestern College, the home of the Apaches. It is the CIF Division 4 final. It's going to be Santa Fe Christian, the Eagles, against the Bishop Knights. Let's get the Santa Fe Christian lineup. Their head coach, Paul Lyons. The goalie is Justin Kern, a sophomore. Number 2, Matt Mosier is a junior. He's a stopper. Number 3, Ben Corison, a sophomore fullback. Number 4, at forward or midfield is Paul Catania. Number 5 is a defender or forward. He's a full or at fullback. It's J.J. Bailey. Number 6, David Myers at midfield. Number 7, Greg Wright, the freshman at forward. Number 8 at midfield, sophomore Dustin McBride. The sophomore, number 9, Mac Rogers playing midfield. The freshman, number 10, Alex Pelletier at forward. Number 11, Brendan Valente. Number 12, John Corison. He's at halfback. He's a freshman. Number 13, Rob Scott. 14 is Matt Gibson. 15, John Zubin. 16, Adam Pelletier. And 18 is Josh Riley. He's at midfield, and he's a junior. For the Bishop Knights, they are head coached by Malcolm Tovey. Number 2, Julius Lamb. He's a freshman at forward. The goalie is the junior, Scott Fainer. Number 3 is the freshman at forward, Mitchell Geary. Number 4, the junior at midfield, Matt Mater. Number 5, the sophomore at midfield, Danny Laser. Number 6, the senior at midfield is Billy Auer. Number 7, the sophomore forward is Andrew Lunny. Number 8, at junior, the midfielder Brett Hummel. Number 9, the sophomore defender Keith Dieterle. Number 10, the sophomore Alex Graham at midfield. Number 12, the junior midfielder David Bantz. Number 13, Jay Dick is a midfielder. He's a freshman. Number 14, the junior midfielder Jason Evans. Number 15, at midfield, the junior Craig Moore. Number 16, the defender, he's a senior, Pat Hook. Number 17, the senior defenseman Michael Ryan. Number 18, he's a sophomore at midfield, Chris Hellman. Number 20, at forward, the junior Bernard Lamb. And those are your lineups for the Bishop Knights and the Santa Fe Christian Eagles here in this Division 4 Boys High School Soccer Final in the CIF. We'll be right back with the action in just a moment.
Sponsors for their very generous support of high school athletics throughout California. We are pleased to welcome the San Diego Soccer.
Greg Porter back to get the game underway here at Southwestern College Stadium, home of the Apaches. And the ref, the center ref, will be Manny Villalta. The linesman will be Stan Wachowski and Marcel Van Mullen. Richard Parks will be dealing with subs. Here's one sent in and a nice save. The first shot of the game. John Corison. And a save made on the play by Scott Fainer. Bishop's going from right to left on your picture, and of course Santa Fe Christian going from left to right. Early ball played, and Fainer will pick it up. 40-minute halves in the CIF finals. And George Langeman Video Sports Productions, happy to be with you with Mike Hall on our digital camera today. Ball played over to the wide side now. On a counterattack. Nice ball played into the box, and Fainer makes the initial save and then gets his rebound before another on-rushing striker. Nice job by Fainer to stay with the initial save and get after the rebound.
Foul on the Eagles. Free kick.
Foul on the play. It's going to be a free kick for Bishops. No score, just the start of the soccer CIF final in Division 4. On the line drive, and it ends up in the 18-yard box, but coming out to get his touch, well, he actually let it go past the goal line. It was goalie Justin Kern. So it'll be a goal kick for the Eagles. Taking it is J.J. Bailey. Bailey gets enough air into the ball to get it to midfield. It's headed right back into the defensive half. Run on two by Dustin McBride. McBride sends a long ball over to the corner. McBride gets it back. Working to his teammate there. Here's McBride again. In the middle of the field. Over to Moser. And it is intercepted. Kicked out of play, and it'll be a throw-in. Matt Moser taking it. Giving away now. Number is tough to see on Bishop Knight's colors, and we'll do the best we can at recognizing that. As Michael Ryan coming down, but the ball swept off his feet. One quickly there by Alex Pelletier, and he sends a pass up forward, but nobody there to run onto it. John Corison was trying to follow it up. It'll be a throw-in from the near side touchline. Keith Dieterle throws it in. And as it goes out of play, it was touched by one of the Eagles. And giving away, Andrew Lunny going to give it away to Keith Dieterle. Dieterle's pass intercepted now, but it's run onto by teammate Mitchell Geary in the middle. It's stolen away. Geary scored one of the goals last night. As Bishop had to play a game last night in order to get to the finals today. All the other games were canceled, but Bishops had to play anyways. Bishops comes in 14-5-4, and this is their 13th consecutive title game in which they are 10-1-2 in title games. Santa Fe Christian, the team that is undefeated coming into this title game, 14-0-5. The number one ranked team in Division 4. And Bishops comes in, the number 2 ranked team. This ball played to the outside now. Running onto it was Corson, but they stole it away. Nice job by Keith Dieterle. To the middle of the field. Here's an early ball play to the outside now as Mitchell Geary is tripped up in a box. And it's going to be a corner kick. They did not give a penalty shot on a play.
Corner kick, Bishops.
In the corner now, looks like Andrew Lonnie's going to take it. And gives it over to Billy Hour in the corner, and then the goal box, and a 6-yard box could not get one on the net, and it goes out of play to the far side now, and the Knights will get another opportunity for CK here. Here's their corner. It's intercepted. Intercepted that time by John Corison and sent out of play to the far side. And it'll be now a throw in as Bishops continues to apply the pressure in the attacking area. Couple of headers, and it rolls out towards midfield. Winning it there is Pelletier. He turns. It's stolen away now, and it goes back to Craig Moore at midfield, who sends a early ball over in the corner now. Kicked out of play. Going to be a throw in now by Santa Fe Christian. The Eagles trying to get a counter going. Nice slide tackle on the play. To midfield, quick touch. And that one went off the jaw of one of the Bishop Knights players. Throw in for Santa Fe Christian. Billy Hour sitting it to midfield, nobody was there. And running onto it is Dustin McBride. McBride trying to set up a play. Works it to the outside to Ben Corison. Obviously, the team, as I mentioned before, that's going to be fresher throughout the contest is going to be the Santa Fe Christian Eagles. However, Bishop's a very tough team. You can try to do all they can to try to win the title. Their 14th title game in the school history to throw in now. A nice save. Beautiful throw in, but it was right on target, and Scott Feiner able to make the save. The quick header by Ben Corison. Corison to Josh Riley. Riley's pass. He was looking for his teammate Greg Wright. Wright has it now. Over to his teammate Dustin McBride. Feeds it back to the top to Matt Moser. Quick touch by Pelletier. On the ball, played over in the corner. A little bit too far for John Corison on a play. Feiner, the goalie, on a bounce. Santa Fe Christian on the ball now with Matt Moser. Moser can't win it, and it ends up now, his teammates have it. On a counter, early ball played to Alex Pelletier, knocked out of play by the Knights. A throw in for SFC. John Corison will throw it in. The freshman gets it to his teammate now. Dustin McBride, a nice move. Feeds it back to the center of the field now. Here's a shot into the 18-yard box. It's blocked. J.J. Bailey will try it again. This time, pass a little shorter. The header just went past Greg Wright on Mac Rogers. On it now is Dustin McBride trying to dribble past the defender. Can't do it. It was stolen away. Ball played to the near side. Coming back to make the play on it was Adam Pelletier. However, on an early ball, it will be picked up by Justin Kern, a goalie in the 18-yard box. Nobody there to run onto it. In the center of the field, midfield area. J.J. Bailey now. Bailey tried to work a play around Michael Ryan, couldn't do it. Ryan sending it to his teammate. On the early ball, trying to get to it, and getting to it is Justin Kern. I believe that was Andrew Lonnie trying to get to it before Kern did. Wasn't able to do it. Kern making the play. Here's Michael Ryan again. Ryan to the outside to Geary. Geary, dangerous player, scored yesterday to get him in the finals. All kicked out of play by Geary, and it'll be a goal kick for the Eagles. Santa Fe Christian and Bishops. No score in the CIF title game for 2001 here at Southwestern College. Ball to the middle of the field now. Running onto it was Corson momentarily there, but now a quick touch by Craig Moore. To the middle of the field, Matt Mater. And he goes out of play. Throw in for SFC. The far side of your picture. Goes by a couple of Bishop Knights players. So far territorially, SFC has put more pressure on the Knights in this game. But here's an early ball played in the middle. You got a player, J.J. Bailey, up and over Mitchell Geary. Geary worked his way in the middle, 1v2, and he drew the defensive foul. So now it'll be a free kick. Teeing it up is Alex Graham. Graham, as the wall breaks the ball up, comes back out. Quick touch by Pat Hook. And the ball played to the near side now. Quick touch there by Dieterle and a miss. As Geary will try to hustle and get to it. Last touch by the Bishop Knights, so it's going to be a goal kick. J.J. Bailey will take it again. Fullback, Bailey. Gets it all the way up to midfield. Nice header. Always love to see the leg strength of soccer players. That's the thing that your bread and butter is made with, your legs. And that's a very important thing to have, leg strength. Ball play to the middle. And a nice save. When you think about leg strength, you think about the coach of the Fallbrook High School team in his first year, getting them to the CIF finals, Wad Hermes, former San Diego soccer player. I'm sure Wad Hermes would love to try to capture the title in his first year. He's worked his way up through the programs, youth programs, and now he's taken Fallbrook into the finals in Division I. On a corner kick, it's headed out, and it goes out of play. If you're wondering who Fallbrook will be playing, he'll be playing Granite Hills in the CIF Division I final. Ball is headed towards that semicircle, and now towards the big circle in the middle of the field. Ben Corison. Corison, pass intercepted and sent off a fan. And a third row. Of course, he put his hands up so it wouldn't hit him up in the head area. Throw in by Ben Corison. That was knocked off of John Corison. So the Knights will have their throw-in. Craig Moore will do the duties. And it looks like there's going to be a substitution now. In the contest is the junior forward, Bernard Lamb. So Lamb, it looks like he's from one of the African countries, is into the contest. And you know, over in the African countries, especially Nigeria, they love to play this game of soccer, otherwise known as football to them. They got a team named the Screaming Eagles, I believe it is, a Nigerian team. They are very flashy. Down the middle and a shot. This one goes all the way up the embankment and will go up in a tree and go hidden. So we're going to take a timeout here at Southwestern College, home of the Apaches. No score in the CIF Division Final in Division 4. Play is underway to throw in from the far side. The 6-yard box is headed out. Won by Santa Fe Christian, going up the field now. Alex Pelletier ran onto it, touched off of the Knights. So Pelletier will give way to one. No, he's going to throw it in. Gets it in to Mac Rogers. Rogers back to Moser. Moser swings it to the near side of the offense. J.J. Bailey. Bailey was looking for his teammate. However, Pelletier gets it. Sends it in the 18-yard box now. It's touched quickly by Greg Wright. And in another team, and they can't get it. A good enough shot. Mac Rogers couldn't get quite enough of his foot on the ball to strike it and try to get it past the goalie of the Knights. So it goes back upfield. It'll be a throw-in. That SFC will have the throw-in. The far side touchline. The header. No score. Still in the first half of the Division IV Finals in boys high school soccer here in 2001. Santa Fe Christian now onto the ball with their Adam Pelletier. He strikes it up to past midfield. Quick touch there by Dustin McBride as he turns. The Knights defender comes up and knocks it out of play. I believe that was Pat Hook. Yeah, it was Pat Hook. Again, like I say, their numbers in kind of a orange up against the background, or against the background of the jerseys for the Knights, and we have a player down for the Knights. Tough to see from up here, at least in the front.
Yellow card is issued to number 5, J.J.
The
Bailey.
yellow card issued to J.J. Bailey now.
He is replaced by number 13, Rob Scott.
Yeah, now J.J. Bailey going to come out, and he's replaced by Rob Scott, because you don't want Bailey to get another card, and he'll be out of the game, and they'll have to play one man down. Ball over in the 18-yard box, and it's headed out. And it will be a goal kick. So the first major foul of the contest, and J.J. Bailey getting it. Looks like there's going to be a substitution. Coming in now is Matt Mater.
Matt Mater, also back in for the Eagles. Number 5, J.J. Bailey.
J.J. Bailey into the contest. As he was quickly replaced, and now it comes back in. Bernard Lamb bumped there a few moments ago. Didn't like the call, but now running onto it is Billy Auer. Lamb in the center of the 18-yard box, but he won't get it as it's kicked out. Alex Graham, a blast over the top of the net. Alex Graham showing the power and how far he can kick that soccer ball, about 30 yards, 27 yards away on a line drive. If he got that one down a little bit, it surely would have been a goal, as he had a lot of steam on that one. Pat Moser taking a goal kick. Corner of the 6-yard box. SFC trying to put the pressure on again, as they have applied in this contest quite frequently. They just haven't been able to get anything in the net yet.
Coming up at 12 noon, the Division 4
Matt Rogers throwing it in.
Coronado.
Talking about the next game that will be played here, it'll be Francis Parker against Coronado. I believe that's the first time Coronado's ever been in the finals in girls soccer. CIF running onto it now. Here's a nice pass. This one a miss, and a big opportunity that time for SFC.
Shot is wide. Goal kick.
I believe that was Josh really came up from his midfield spot and just could not get it to go in the direction he wanted it to. He had a big-time opportunity there as Pelletier was in on that play in a big way. And now we have a player down, John Corison, and we are going to take a timeout as they check on John Corison. The Division IV final, no score. We'll be right back. And coming off John Corison as he is hurt in the look like ankle area, not wanting to put any weight on that right foot. Looks like coming in now is Rob Scott. So Rob Scott will come in and replace John Corson for Santa Fe Christian Eagles. And the way he is definitely favoring that right ankle, he may be out for the rest of the half. Going to need some training action to come back in the second half. Trying to run it down there was Bernard Lamb, and Lamb showing his speed. But it is kicked out by Lamb. He could not control it. So now it's going to be a goal kick. Teeing it up there is goalie Justin Kern. Kern has not had to face the action so far. As we mentioned, Bishop's team that had to play last night. And as the game goes on, the fatigue begins to wear, especially when you play 40 minutes of this type of competitive soccer. The fatigue factor definitely becomes a thing that you have to deal with. In the first half, of course, if you're the Bishop Knights, you'd love to get a goal in there and try to put the pressure on Santa Fe Christian. But Santa Fe Christian continuing to put the pressure on the Knights territorially in this contest. They've had a couple of pretty good chances in a game. Won by the Knights. And now on to it is Rob Scott. Scott playing it over to his teammate. And quickly, a quick touch there by Brett Hummel, I believe it was. No, Billy Auer. Auer. And running on to it is Pelletier. Pelletier back to his teammate, Moser. Back to Pelletier. But on the pass that he had received by Dustin McBride, there was a foul against the defender on McBride, so now it's going to be a free kick.
Is one of these two schools contracted with you to film this? Which one?
And a shot and a save up in the air. And there's going to be a violation on it. And it's going to be a penalty kick, it looks like.
Coming up.
And they say they interfered. One of the players, maybe it was the goalie that interfered with one of the players trying to make that play for Santa Fe Christian. And they've got a penalty kick. Teeing it up, looks like it's going to be Dustin McBride. Always the opportunity for the offensive player, the striker. The goalie can't move until the ball is struck. McBride misses it. The big chance, and McBride missed the post. And it's still scoreless. A big sigh of relief for the fans and the parents out there for the Bishop Knights, as they just averted a big situation there.
You're working for one of these two schools and you don't know who?
No, I'm not working for either school, man. I'm actually actually working for George Langley Video Sports Production. George is around here somewhere.
Where's George?
I don't know. But he arranges and schedules and does all this kind of stuff when it comes to CIF finals, which he's been doing for many years. So.
I understand that, but to my knowledge, I'm Jan Jessup from the CIF office. We have not received any request from George. Yeah, I saw that down in the press box. We have not received a request from George to film any of these games.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything about that part. All I deal with is the weapons.
Okay. Where is George?
The ball sent out to the outside now, and it is going to be a throw-in for Bishops. It headed out now. No score here in the late part of this first half. This Division IV Finals headed there quickly by Alex Pelletier to the top of the 18-yard box now. And a shot by Mac Rogers, and Rogers trying to deal with the defenders there that were in front of him to try to get a good shot. It was kind of tough to do that, and he didn't get the kind of shot that he would have liked to have on that play. So we're still scoreless. On a goal kick to midfield, a quick touch, J.J. Bailey. Dustin McBride trying to come down the middle. Touched by Pelletier. Or that was Rob Scott trying to get to it. And let's see now what we're going to have. It's going to be a throw-in. As they say, it was already out of play. Rob Scott will throw it in. Scotty trying to get his teammates to have something where they can finish here in the first half, as they've had a few good opportunities, real good opportunities, to try and put one on the scoreboard, but they have not been able to do it. And the Knights being very tough in the storm of things. And storm has been a key word in the weather here in Southern California, all of California to be exact, but seeing a lot of it here in the San Diego area as we've dealt with these CIF finals, and there'll be a number of games played today, but then there'll be a number of games that are going to have to be played in the middle of the week, and a lot of that is due to the rain situation. El Nino, as that one goes out of play, and it's now going to be a goal kick. Goal kick for Scott Feiner and his Bishop Knights. Bishop Knights have a team manager, Van Feiner, and Virginia Graham. Helping out also a statistician, Scott Rogers. And even in doing the snack schedule is Marco Rogers. Play kind of slowing down here in the last few moments of the game. A line drive in the 18-yard box, and that's headed out, and Feiner is able to make the save.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen, with Mr. George.
Line drive. This one is headed by J.J. Bailey.
Please report to the press box. Thank you.
And out of play. Throw in for the Bishop Knights to the far side. This one is kicked out. Looked like Scott touched it, or Bernard Lamb touched it, and Santa Fe Christian will throw it in. Running up to meet it there was Ben Corison. Santa Fe Christian will have the throw in. J.J. Bailey Bailey working it to his teammate Josh Riley. Last touched off by the Knights. Bailey will do it again, closer to the midfield area. Headed up in the area. Last touch by Santa Fe Christian, so the Knights, well, their opportunity here. Can't win the ball as here comes Santa Fe Christian again. Here's an early ball played to the middle. However, getting to it nicely that time was Keith Dieterle. Dieterle, the sophomore defender, a nice play on that last sequence. Kicked out now. Kicked out by Alex Graham. So now it's going to be a throw-in. Throw-in by number 9, Keith Dieterle. There's going to be a substitution coming in now. Billy Auer coming in for Mitchell Geary. Up there in his forward striker position. Quick touch, running onto it now, Dustin McBride. McBride can't go any further. Good defensive play into space. Now here's an early ball played. A little bit too far for Bernard Lamb, number 20 for the Knights. So, of course, Justin Kern gets to it and gives it out to his defenders to get it started again. Here's J.J. Bailey. Bailey at midfield. Bailey's early ball is intercepted, but it caroms over to Moser, who gives it to his teammate here, but Dustin McBride down to center. As they reduce the size of the field, it goes out to the outside to J.J. Bailey. Let's see what J.J. does with it. He gives it over to McBride. McBride wants to work it back to a defender and see if they can get a line drive. But that pass intercepted. Matt Mader dropping it off. And ball rolls on to Chris Haleman. Headed out of play, and they're going to have a throw-in from the far side as it was headed out by Santa Fe Christian. As we head closer and closer to halftime here at the Apaches home field. The throw-in. Lamb trying to get to it, can't do it. So it's run on to by McBride. McBride coming out. McBride at midfield, getting it over to Pelletier. Back to Dustin McBride, down the middle. Back to Pelletier, but coming out and making the save on a play, Scott Feiner. Feiner off the line quickly, made a judgment, and it was the right one. The midfield headed by Moser. Caroms off, but here's Lamb. Bernard Lamb. Lamb decides to pass it, and it got deflected by Moser out of play. So they will get, in the defensive third, they get an opportunity to throw it in, do the Bishop Knights. And a scoreless game here in the first half of the CIF Division IV Finals in the 18-yard box. Both teams trying to vie for it, and coming out with it is SFC, Santa Fe Christian. To the outside, Greg Wright trying to get to it. Can't do it, and so throwing it in will be Bishops in their own defensive third. All played off of Billy Auer. Lamb, a touch. Last touch by the Eagles. Will throw in for the Knights of Bishops High School. To the far side now. And it goes out. Kicked out. And they're going to have another opportunity here, even closer to that goal. Bishops again would do themselves very well to get a goal in the first half, because that fatigue factor is going to be a factor in the second half. On the line drive, and this one is headed, and it is headed out by one of the Knights, so they're going to get a goal kick. Will Santa Fe Christian Eagles. No score. On a day that we are trying to stay away from the rain as much as possible. So far, so good. There was forecasted rain for today at some time or another to begin, continue for a couple of days. On the foul, Craig Moore will take it for the Knights. As most of the players get into the defensive half of the field of the Santa Fe Christian, and Lamb trying to get it off the header by the defense. Couldn't get to it first. So Kern, the goalie, a lot of English on that ball, and it heads back to defensive half of the Knights. Rolls out of play. Throwing it in, Rob Scott. Scott Pelletier making a good move around a defender, but quickly getting back to make the play on Pelletier was Pat Hook. And Hook happy about his play on that defensive space there that he had to collapse on and get to that soccer ball. There's going to be substitutions coming in now. Mitchell Geary again for the Knights. Mitchell, who scored a goal last night. One of the goals to get him here in the CIF finals. Going to be a goal kick for the Knights. Keith Dieterle is going to take it. Dieterle. Mater. Or rather, that was Auer who had touched it. The line drive. Early ball played for Pelletier. A little bit too far. Dieterle getting to it first. Kicks it out. Throw in. Mac Rogers for the Eagles. Headed by a Bishop Knights player. Trying to make a move around a defender. Falling down was Dustin McBride. And in doing so, he caused a foul. Free kick for the Knights. Good line drive. Headed back upfield to midfield now. Here's Pelletier. Let's see which way he goes with it. He goes inside. They feed it to Mac Rogers down the middle. Mac Rogers, early ball, and this one is past the goal line as he had found Scott Feiner off the line, and he just couldn't get it around him. Nice little play, though, by Santa Fe Christian. Boy, have they put a lot of pressure on the Knights throughout the contest here in the first half. And we have a substitution. Looks like it's for Bishops. They're not going to get him in right now. The goal kick. Quick touch by Josh Riley, and they play it back now as it's stolen away. Justin Kern. Kern's going to go to the middle of the field with his kick. Won by a nice player, but blocked nicely by Mac Rogers. So here's Pelletier. Pelletier trying to get to it, but the defender gets to it first. Nicely done for the Knights defense. Gonna throw it in. Mac Rogers. Rogers, and now the goalie's off the line, out of position. Coming down, but he gets back in the box now. A blast over the net. Nice try there by Robbie Scott. The ball finally caromed over to Rob Scott, and he got a good 25 to 30 yard kick. And that one was just a little bit too high. He had the right idea. Top of the net to try to beat Scott Feiner. And again, chances going awry for the Santa Fe Christian Eagles And their substitution now coming in to the contest. It is actually a substitution for Bishops. It's Danny Lazar, number 5. Lazar, the sophomore, playing in midfield into the contest, I believe for the first time in the game. Nice header that time by Matt Mater, the junior. Mater keeps it in, and they say it was out. J.J. Bailey. And a double whistle. Point to the center of the field, and that'll do it for the first half of action. Here in the Division IV CIF High School Final between the Santa Fe Christian Eagles and the Bishop Knights. And we will be back for more action in the second half. No score in the first half. Action set to get underway here in the second half. The Bishops High School Knights going from left to right on your video screen and picture, and going from right to left is the Santa Fe Christian Eagles. There is no score in the CIF Division IV Finals here today at Southwestern College, the home of the Apaches, and we are underway in the second half. Greg Porter, happy to be with you, along with Mike Hall of George Langevin Video Sports Productions. Quick touch there by Alex Graham. Graham still on the ball now for the Bishop Knights. Alex Graham is run off the ball now and placed onto the foot of Dustin McBride. McBride to the near side. McBride, nice pass in the middle, down the middle, but it's headed out by the last moment. Pat Hook coming over in the space. Beautiful play by the Bishop Knights defender. If Hooks doesn't get there and use the upper part of his body to get to the soccer ball, that would have been a very good chance for Santa Fe Christian here to open up the second half. They dominated the first half in touches and playmaking ability, but they were not able to get the ball into the net. They even had a penalty kick try and were not able to get it in the net. So the Knights averted the first 40 minutes. Remember, they're the team that's fatigued here at the CIF Final because they had to play last night to get here. And actually, for them, it would be a great thing if they can get a goal to start off the early part of this second half, and then just play the chase routine and the defensive routine to not allow the Eagles to win the game. But the Eagles, a team that has not lost here in 2001, a team that is going to continue to apply pressure. As you see here, Alex Graham coming down the middle, or rather not Alex Graham, but that's Alex Pelletier. Pelletier now will give way to his teammate, Mac Rogers, and Rogers will look for somebody in the 18-yard box. A couple of defenders there, and they're able to get to it are the Knights of Bishops High School. Mater, but kept in nicely by Moser. And it's going to be an indirect free kick now. Be taken by the Bishop Knights on the foul. So Bishops with the indirect in their own defensive act. Headed by SFC now, still on the ball. Alex Pelletier, he feeds it to Moser. Moser run off the ball. And the Knights now to Mater. Rob Scott now still on it. And Scott trying to get around Mater. He can't do it. It's kicked off by Mater, and it'll be a throw-in for Santa Fe. Dustin McBride with it. McBride's touch with nobody there in the space. Over to Lamb as Bishop wins it. on the early ball, but he cannot control it as Santa Fe Christian has it now. Kicked out of play by the defender on that play. The throw in for Santa Fe Christian, but now they kick it out of play. Actually, they said it was kicked out. It was knocked out by Bishops. On the throw in by Moser in the corner. Pelletier trying to run it down. Going to be a goal kick. Scott Feiner, who's done a fine job in the first half against the threats by Santa Fe Christian. The goal kick, Lamb a touch. Coming into the space there, J.J. Bailey. Bailey's pass to the middle now. Running onto it, McBride, and sending it in the corner, but a little bit too far for John Corison. Kicked out now. Matt Moser. Moser on the ball, but his intended pass, intercepted. Kicked out all the way back up towards midfield. Santa Fe Christian, the throw in from the far side. Misheading a try, Lamb a touch. Mater. And an early ball with nobody there, going back. Getting it, J.J. Bailey. The foul. Free kick. Direct free kick, and it's going to be taken by Matt Moser. Moser on a line drive, and it goes to Feiner. And he has it. Just a touch off that 6-yard box. Goal box. Sends a long kick. Lamb trying to meet it. Lamb wins it. Lamb plays an early ball in the corner. He was looking for, of course, Matt Mater, and he ran out of room. Throw in for Santa Fe Christian to the near side. No score here in the CIF final for Division 4. We will go into overtime if need be, if it's still tied. Mater trying to pursue it, can't do it as the defender able to kick it out of play, coming over there to make the play. Keith Dieterle to throw in. Dieterle off the header and the save on a play. Justin Kerr. Ball goes out now. Billy Auer going to throw it in. And no, he's going to give way to his teammate. Auer trying to operate just outside the 18-yard box. Can't win it as coming into the space are the Eagles now to midfield. Early ball played over to number 10. Alex Pelletier, long blast, and he just missed the far post. Alex Pelletier trying to get one in the net and end the scoreless tie. Going to be a goal kick. This one taken by Keith Dieterle, the sophomore. And his right-footed kick almost to midfield. Knocked off by Santa Fe Christian. The Knights to throw in. Throw in there by Craig Moore. Moore on the ball now. Moore had a bump there. The ball in the middle. And going back to go get it, John Corison. And he'll leave it for his goalie. Justin Kern, who sends it upfield now. Corison pass intercepted, but he wins it. Down the middle to Mac Rogers. Rogers plays it, and his teammates were not there as he went towards the outside, and his teammates went to the inside. Nobody there, so it'll be a throw-in. Substitution for the Bishop Knights. And we'll get the number of the young man coming into the contest. Coming back into the contest, Mitchell Geary. So Geary's back into the contest now for the Knights. Pelletier in the corner, and he is tripped up. Free kick just outside the 18-yard box. And just inside the touchline of the near side. Teeing it up. Dustin McBride in the 18-yard box. The Knights heading it out. This one played to the far side now. John Corison, and he cannot control.
Corner kick, Santa Fe Christian.
But he didn't have to control as it was knocked out by the Knights. So here's another corner kick for Santa Fe Christian. Goes back out to J.J. Bailey. Bailey with a defender there, and they're going to get another corner kick. It's going to be on this side of the field. The defender would have done well to let that ball go. He didn't do it, and so now they give up another corner. Or Dustin McBride again in the 18-yard box, coming out to meet it. Was Fainer doing a fine job. In the middle of the field. And Santa Fe Christian still on the ball in the defensive half of the Knights. But this header goes out to Lamb towards midfield. Bernard Lamb want to try to show his speed, but a good slide tackle by Ben Corison. Corison says, I've got you to going down the far side, and I'll make the defensive play. And he did a fine job that time. Corison again playing Bernard Lamb, who has those long strides. But Lamb intercepts, and then it is knocked out by he. Lamb, one of the tallest young men out there on the field. The junior. Goal kick for Santa Fe Christian. And the Eagles and the Knights scoreless still here in the second half of the CIF Division 4 final. And this one to the far side as Santa Fe Christian now still on the ball. Beautiful play by Dustin McBride to use the side of his foot as his body was going forward and keep the ball going forward. Beautiful play. Love to see that type of action in soccer, where it's all about dancing with its soccer ball. The possessions that the individual player has. That is the skill and the flair of the game. Ball to the top of the corner. Pelletier, the touch. With McBride, back to Pelletier. The give and go, but he can't control it. That's won by Bishops. However, coming back with it is Mac Rogers. Rogers, nice little pass to Moser. Moser going to give it to his teammate Josh Riley, but there was a foul on the play. Paul Lyons, the head coach of Santa Fe Christian, not happy about that. The Knights, an early ball, but this one does not go over the head of one of the two defenders back. Probably would have been an offsides call anyway. Matt Moser sending it to Mac Rogers. Still caroms around. The Knights up to midfield, and Al Lamb 1v2, but he can't get to it. And it is kicked out of play, as getting back to make the play was Adam Pelletier. Nice job by Adam Pelletier to be aware of where the striker is, get to the soccer ball, and kick it out to the near side. A throw in for Keith Dieterle for the Knights. Dieterle's throw in as it caroms off of one of Santa Fe Christian players to the left. Lamb shot and a save. Lamb quickly turned on the play. He says, I'll be quicker this time if I get a chance to get to the soccer ball. And he deposited it all the way right on target. And a save was made quickly by Justin Kern. Off the goal kick now to the far side. Running onto it, but it goes out of play. John Corison trying to control it to the far side touchline. So the Knights will have the throw-in in their own defensive third. Still scoreless. Big chance there, as now Lamb will come out of the contest. The substitution. And they bring in Billy Auer. And so a junior for the senior. Auer, the senior, back in. Substitutions are key for the Knights, especially after they played last night. Running onto it, a big chance, and it is blocked by Kern. Big play by Justin Kern. Point blank. He knew he could get struck in the face area with the kick, and he just said, I've got to lay my body on this play, lay it all on the line, and he did. After the throw-in, Knights still trying to apply pressure. Knocked out by Santa Fe Christian's Alex Pelletier, hustling. The throw-in by Keith Dieterle. Pelletier off his side of his head. Santa Fe Christian getting it, but it's going to be a foul, as pushing off there was, and they say it was the defender that was on his back. So now it is Matt Moser, the junior. Moser sends it over there towards the 18-yard box. And it's out of play. Last touch off of Santa Fe Christian. The Knights will throw it in. Bishop Knights from the Scripps Ranch area. We got a nice new cinema over there in the Scripps Ranch area as a throw-in for Santa Fe Christian. Edwards Cinema right there off the 15 freeway. Been open for a little while. Billy Auer now. And Auer, who wasn't going forward and coming up, Matt Moser getting some excitement for his team. Moser gets it to the middle, and we have a foul. Auer did not like the play, and he gives up a foul, and there'll be a free kick here. Auer coming back to try to make a play after the ball was taken away from him, and so now he'll get a free kick by virtue of the foul that he committed. Matt Moser. And the 18-yard box curving, and it goes past the goal line. Trying to get somebody to hit it past the goalie who was coming off the line. Couldn't quite get it to happen. So we're still scoreless. The Knights averting opportunities after opportunities by Santa Fe Christian here in the CIF Division IV title game. Boys High School Soccer. The line drive. The Knights winning it to the outside. John Corison was there. His teammate will throw it in. Won by Mac Rogers to the outside. Makes a move inside the 18-yard box to Pelletier, who keeps it going down the middle. But there was a foul on the play. They had another big opportunity there, but they were a little bit too anxious and committed a foul. And so they'll give way to the free kick for Bishops. Bishops weathering storm after storm by the Eagles of Santa Fe Christian and waiting for the big moment to try and get the goal in the net.
Free kick, Bishops.
But it will require quite a bit of effort as the game moves on, and they again played last night. The fatigue factor continuing to play a part. So the determination's got to rise high for the Knights as this one is headed past the goal line by the Knights. And so Santa Fe Christian will have their opportunity for a goal kick here. Matt Moser will take it. Moser, whose team has won a lot of balls in this contest, but just have not got one in the net. Tripped up, and the call was against Pelletier. As they say, he tripped up the Knights player. And so now it will be a free kick. Of course, you have the opportunity to rewind this one and watch it again. Make your own call. Off the free kick. On the line drive as Santa Fe Christian players converging. However, coming out with it, there's a bump, and that bump is going to go against Santa Fe Christian. So Geary and company will get the free kick. Billy Auer will take it. About 7 yards outside the 18-yard box. Of course, Santa Fe putting up the box. Auer. And, of course, they are masquerading how they're going to do this. Nice little diversion as it was touched quickly there by Alex Graham. But they just could not get a striker to run onto it. And so they give way to the goal kick. So we see the young ladies here in the green. Coronado, Francis Parker warming up. They'll be playing next here at Southwestern College, and there's a foul. Here's the free kick. Auer threads the needle, but it's just a little bit wide of the right post for him. Left post for the goalie.
Free kick, Santa Fe Christian.
And now it's a goal kick for Santa Fe Christian again. Couple of opportunities there, and they just couldn't quite get anything to go on the set piece tries. The Knights on the long goal kick. Dustin McBride. Pelletier with his teammate coming off the line. And it goes wide. Feiner for Bishops came off the line, and now one of his teammates is down. And we'll take a timeout as they check on him. And we decided to stay with the action, and it's a corner kick. We thought he might be down a little bit longer as he stays in the game. And the header, and that one was a nice header, but just a little bit wide to the right. And so now what we're going to have is a goal kick for the Knights. The defender, Keith Dieterle, teeing it up. Dieterle. And this one is headed past midfield. And a quick touch by Ben Corison, out of play. And the fans get it back into the field. And went up into the stands, about 12 rows. Here's the throw-in now. Throw-in in the corner. A two-handed play in the middle, the header, goal! I believe it was Matt Geary to goal.
Bishop's goal, scored by number 3, Mitchell Geary. The assist.
Mitchell Geary, they had him written down as Matt Geary yesterday in the paper. Mitchell does a fine job of being there where he needs to be, and he finds a way to get the goal that they need. Now they can play defense if you're the Knights and not allow Santa Fe Christian to score. But the problem is that won't be easy either, as we have a foul, because you're going to have to chase them all over the field, as they have had most of the touches in this contest. The Knights, you could just feel in a way that they had that presence of mind to find a way to thread that needle, ever thin as it may have been, and they have found a way to do it. One to nothing score. And Santa Fe Christian with another big opportunity here. They've had numerous ones. Let's see how they work this set piece try. Dusty McBride with 3 of his teammates to the back of the goal. And his other teammate to the side of him, Mac Rogers. The wall. About 15 yards out. Away from the goalie. Scott Fainer, here's the shot, and it hit the post! A header, and he missed on a brilliant try! He followed it up, and he just could not get it in the net. After they got the post, deflection, and the opportunity by Mac Rogers went awry. Another big opportunity for Santa Fe Christian, the undefeated team here in the CIF Division Final, the number 1 ranked team in Division 4. And the Knights, who've been on pins and needles through this contest, still see it 1-0. As the heat of the day begins now, and it will again apply more onto the testimony and the will desire of the Bishop Knights after playing last night. Obviously, the fresher team has been shown out there on the field today in Santa Fe Christian, but they have not put it in the net yet. The Knights with the try here to maybe get another goal. Mac Rogers, or rather that was Keith Dieterle with the throw-in. Off of Lamb. Going back is John Corison. Off of Pelletier. They don't say it was pushed. To the center circle. And now they do say it was pushed. So it is going to be a free kick. Santa Fe Christian down by a goal, taking it Matt Moser. Moser on the line, drive a hitter, right to what a strike! J.J. Bailey, a goal! Beautiful play again by Santa Fe Christian. They had the numbers in the 18-yard box, and Bailey was able to thread the needle. And it is tied at 1-1 in this Division IV CIF Boys High School title game. Santa Fe Christian, a team who is not lost, as there's a substitution coming in for the Knights. It's Dan Lazar. They have not lost this year, and they put a testimony to that effect by getting a goal, a tying one here in the title game midway through the second half. So the Knights' desire and determination is going to have to be upped a little bit more with a tired team out there. But this is the last game. This is the one it's all about. Tremendous action up and down the field. Ball kicked in a corner now, trying to run it down as Pat Hook. It goes out of play. Santa Fe Christian wanting to turn the tide as their fans helping them out here. In the corner, Mac Rogers, and it goes out of play. Goal kick for the Bishop Knights. The Knights need all they can get, their fans. They need the fresh players in there. They need the water. They need the Gatorade, whatever it takes to give them the strength and the ability to fight through the fatigue and try and win this contest. Running onto it is Mac Rogers. It goes over. And again, I mentioned the fatigue. Dustin McBride, the goal. And he was open, nobody in the space. McBride was able to thread it past Feiner, and it's 2-1, and Santa Fe Christian have met the challenge now, and they lead into the contest for the first time.
Alex Peltier, time of the goal, 72 minutes.
You love to have a sophomore, an underclassman, help you out in a big game to keep the unblemished season in effect. Santa Fe Christian has got Greg Wright into the game now, and Brett Hummel's come into the game, as undoubtedly the Knights have to get some fresh bodies in there. They said it was a 72nd minute. They only play 80, so you can figure out the math. Santa Fe Christian Moser touches it. But there is a Knight defender there to midfield. Here's Lamb. Lamb's through ball, and getting to the space there is the Christian defender. And this one kicked out of play by the Knights. And Santa Fe Christian now will have the throw in. They lead 2-1. In the corner, and going down. Again, Pelletier. And they say it was off the Knights defender, and now they have another set piece try. Taking it, John Corison, who has done that quite a few times throughout this contest in the CKs. Off the set piece, getting a header up over the net by Mac Rogers. Rogers, who's been in and around the area to try to score. He had a header go wide, And this time, this one goes wide above the crossbar. The Knights trying to find a way to tie up the game. Here's an early ball in the corner, trying to run it down, and he's tripped. There, let's see what the call is going to be. Is it going to be a penalty kick? It is.
Foul on the Eagles. Free kick. Knights.
Correction, no it isn't. It's going to be a free kick though. They're going to be right off the 18-yard box. The Knights, a big opportunity to tie the CIF title game here. Down 2-1. More important are the opportunities late in the game. Let's see what they do on their set piece try here. On the fake, and a goal! Beautiful shot by the sophomore Alex Graham.
Goal by number 10, Alex Graham.
And Graham ties it up now.
75.
It is 2-2 in the 75th minute. And the Knights will not go away as they substitute players again. And coming in now is Matt Mater.
10. The score is now Bishop's 2, Santa Fe Christian 2.
2-2. Beautiful game here played at Southwestern College, the home of the Apaches. As both of these two Division IV teams have been relentless towards their idea of trying to win a CIF Division IV title. This one is headed out of the 18-yard box. Coming down with it is Adam Pelletier. Pelletier drops it back off to his teammate Corison. Corison to the near side, J.J. Bailey, and now a Knight player is down. And nice sportsmanship, of course, by J.J. Bailey. They ask him, how you doing? Get back up. You're good competition as both teams enjoying this one, playing hard. For the most part, playing rather competitively fairly against each other. Tough to do when you're in a title game and there's a lot on the line. You've played this game since you could play soccer, that you could move with the soccer ball, and then you work your way through club soccer. It helps your skills so you can be that much better in a high school game. And then when you get in the high school game, you start displaying your skills with maybe some of the guys that used to play club soccer against you or even on your team. And then you go and you play some of the other best players around in San Diego County, and now we have a free kick. Taking it, Matt Moser. Matt Moser on the set piece try with the game tied at 2, the header. There's Lamb, he's the one in the middle with the big strides. Plays the early ball to the wide side, but going back there is Adam Pelletier to get it past Lamb. However, there's a Knight player at midfield now. Running onto it is Matt Mater. Lamb showing his speed, however, he can't get to it before Justin Kern can. And Kern, the goalie, the keeper, off the header. Trying to run back to get to it. He was pushed down, and they're going to call a foul on J.J. Bailey.
Free kick Knights.
And now the Knights with it in their own defensive third. Off the free kick. Down the middle of the field. Lamb tripping up. Couldn't get to it. But however, coming back is Mac Rogers. Rogers makes a move around one defender. Tries to feed it to his teammate, Dustin McBride, but it's stolen away. However, he runs back onto it. Rogers to the outside. Knight defender there. Josh Riley. Time running out here in the game. Alex Pelletier is shot over the net. Pelletier with a shot over the net. Just couldn't get it inside the top part of the crossbar. Substitutions now. As getting a hand is Bernard Lamb, and coming back in is Geary. Remember, Geary scored yesterday to help them get to the finals, and he has scored today to help them here in this title game. 2-2. To the middle of the field now. To midfield. Santa Fe on a counterattack. J.J. Bailey to the middle, and we have a collision. And a yellow card is coming out against Mac Rogers. And Mac Rogers is going to be substituted as Greg Wright will come in, and that hurts Santa Fe Christian in some regard because he has to watch the intensity in the future. Can't afford, if this game goes into overtime, to lose a body. And that's what you do if you get a red card. Down the middle, Knights operating, and just coming over to make the play is the defender for Santa Fe Christian. Knights again. Here's Mater just outside the 18-yard box. His cross over the net. Mater tried the top part of the crossbar and he couldn't get it in. But nice try by Matt Mater, the junior. So it's going to be a goal kick now. Substitutions for Santa Fe Christian is again to get Mac Rogers back into the contest.
Number 17, Michael Ryan.
Coming in, Michael Ryan, the senior defender. To the middle, quick touch. Mater over in the corner, too far for him. On the near side also, Laser. Throw in now. Rob Scott getting it to Moser, but Moser can't control it. It's taken off his foot, and we have a collision there, and it's going to be a yellow card. And who is it against? The yellow card is against Ben Corison.
Yellow card issued to number 3, Ben Morrison.
And so Santa Fe Christians had the most yellow cards in the contest, showing their determination to keep the unblemished season. Coming in 14-0 with 5 ties. The Knights, the big set piece try here. Alex Graham scored the last goal, the sophomore. And see what they do on this set piece try. Graham on the low side. It's won by Santa Fe Christian. And a double whistle, that's going to do it for regulation play. And that means we're going to go into overtime action. It's 2-2 here in the CIF Division IV Boys High School title game. Stick around. We'll be back for more 15-minute overtime here at Southwestern College.
We will play a second 15-minute sudden death overtime. If the score is still tied after that period, we will have co-champions.
And we're underway here in the second half. Second half. How about overtime? The second half expired with 2-2 tie. And now here we go in overtime. Left to right, the Bishop Knights, and right to left, Santa Fe Christian. Running over onto it, Alex Graham. Graham placing it in the corner. And trying to keep it in. Nice hustle. However, it will be turned over to a goal kick for Santa Fe Christian. Matt Moser will take it. It's going to be predominantly a mental approach now for the Knights, as they are going to have, obviously, the more tired of the legs between the two teams. So the mental approach has got to take over. The mental aspect of the game. The ability to overcome the fatigue, the tiredness, the strain of what you have to do. And of course, there's obviously fatigue for Santa Fe, as they are playing here in overtime also, but they did not play last night a full game like the Knights did. After the foul, Matt Moser. And so if you're the Knights, you want to get a goal quickly and then try to play some sort of defense, enough to win, to survive the 15-minute overtime session. Off the header, Lamb trying to continue on with it. Couldn't do it. However, he's got a teammate there. It goes past Mater. And to the nearest side, Pelletier keeping it in. Nicely done. But then on the second try, he was out. And then now the Knights with the throw in. Guy Dieterle. Dieterle's attempted play was knocked out by Santa Fe Christian, as Mater was knocked out on the play. No call. Here's Dieterle now. He moves up. And he attacking third with the throw in. Dieterle gets a lot of air underneath the ball. It's headed. And then it is kicked out by Dustin McBride. Now going after it is Mac Rogers. And it's kicked off of Mater. And it'll be a throw in. John Corson with the throw in. Getting it over to Mac Rogers. Rogers, early ball, a little bit too far for Pelletier. Bishop's goalie, Scott Feiner, getting it up all the way down. Here's Lamb now, the junior trying to operate. But the space was closed down nicely. And nicely done by Adam Pelletier. To Moser. Off the foot of Josh Riley. Trying to thread the needle with his teammate Pelletier, a little bit too far. Near side touchline. And it'll be a throw in. Gonna take it is Craig Moore, the junior midfielder. And Moore trying to get somebody to possess the ball, can't do it, as was knocked off by a Santa Fe Christian player. Craig Moore will throw it in. Moore at about midfield. Positioning himself was Lamb. He got the header in the right direction. However, Santa Fe Christian, there's Pelletier diving to get it to the outside. They still win it, but then they finally can't control it as John Corson kicking it out of play. Throw in for Bishops here in the overtime period. Tied 2-2 here in the CIF Division IV title game. On to Dustin McBride. McBride to the outside, but his pass was intercepted. However, running into space is Mac Rogers. Rogers looking for Pelletier, but there was a defender that ran into space and intercept. Moser to McBride. He gets it to the outside. To Corson, and a nice slide tackle to keep that ball coming point blank at Feiner. Good defensive job by the Knights defense. John Corson. Corson headed up in the air. The Knights have it. Still an 18-yard, just outside the 18-yard box, and this one is kicked out of play. Big kick, too, by J.J. Bailey, who scored a goal. And he gets a tap by Bernard Lamb. Says, we know what you're trying to do. Good effort. Sign of sportsmanship on the play. And not because of the sportsmanship, but they want to keep Lamb's legs fresh, and they get the other striker in there. Of course, Geary, who scored a goal. Nice play, winning it, and finally coming into space is the Knights defender. As trying to operate was the man who scored a goal, J.J. Bailey. He had a little bit of space, but it was closed in quickly. Moser weaving his way to Pelletier. Pelletier to the outside of 18-yard box, across. And yeah, it hits the crossbar, the football crossbar, and out of play. So we're still tied 2-2 on the overtime here at Southwestern College. The sun has come out and made it look like a better day. And those of the CIF just hoping that it can become or remain a dry day. Lots of CIF finals to be played. Ball headed out by the Knights. Throw in, Josh Riley, the junior, gonna look for his teammates. Throws it over the head of McBride, over to Pelletier. Pelletier makes a good move. Pelletier to the outside, but nobody was there. Moser, nice header. Keep it from going further up towards midfield. However, here's Mater. Mater winning the ball to Geary. Geary, early ball played, trying to get there first. Nice slide tackle by Adam Pelletier to get there as on rushing Alex Graham trying to make a big play. Graham, who has scored a goal, the tying goal for the Knights late in the second half off of a free kick. Is the reason why we're in overtime. A throw in by Dieterle. A good throw in is headed out. And a whistle. Ball past the goal line. Matt Moser going to take the free kick. Moser. Knights players, Mater trying to run onto it, can't do it. Keith Dieterle. Dieterle with the throw in. Dieterle looking for his teammates in the 6-yard box. Headed up in the air and over the net. They had the try, but it was a little bit too high off the header. Over the net. Goal kick. Matt Moser. Still 2-2 here in the overtime as we're running out of that overtime time here. Running onto it is Ben Corson. Dustin McBride. McBride sends it to the outside, but right to the other team. However, now winning it onside, Pelletier, and it will be a corner kick.
Corner kick, Eagles.
The freshman, Pelletier, with the corner. Pelletier, his line drive intercepted by the Knights. Back out on top, though. Pelletier there. Pelletier trying to make a move. He goes to his left foot again, and this one will be past the goal, and another goal kick for the Knights. Waning moments here this overtime session, as coming back in is Bernard Lamb. Geary coming back out. Good strategy there, of course, by Malcolm Tovey to keep his two strikers fresh. He needs their legs, their quickness. Lamb. And then Graham, early ball, and won quickly, though, by Adam Pelletier for Santa Fe Christian. However, the Knights still on the ball momentarily, but not now, as Mac Rogers had won it. Dustin McBride hustles his way to the ball. But that through ball try taken away. Pelletier, Lamb gets to it, but can he get to? No, he can't. Trying to get there before Justin Kern, but Kern was there first. The keeper sends it to the near side. Santa Fe trying to work a play. Josh Riley, they cannot do it. As being tough that time for the Knights was Andrew Lunny. Lunny, unofficially, we've got him down for a goal in the contest. Trying to hit it. Pelletier, as it goes past, a miss. Pelletier down the middle. Pelletier wants to cross it back, but he gets it back. Well, he almost got it back, but the Knight player was there first and kicked it out of play. Good job, as he did not allow Pelletier to get that soccer ball back again. Can't let them have another try if you're a defender, especially when the game is tied in overtime. In an 18-yard box, but it comes back out. However, nice move by Dustin McBride, a shot, and over the net. McBride, a nice move, but he just couldn't quite get it to angle down in the net. Substitutions for the Knights. Geary's going to come back in for Lamb. And, of course, Brett Hummel's going to come in now, the junior midfielder. Got to keep fresh bodies in the game if you're the Knights. They played last night, as I mentioned throughout the contest. If you're to have a chance to win this one. Graham. And a foul. The foul is on Rob Scott, on Geary. And a yellow card is against Rob Scott. Justifiably so. You can't tackle the guy from behind. And they used to, in the early days of FIFA soccer or early part of last century, they used to do that all the time. But a couple of decades ago, they decided no more. Auer for the Knights. Billy Auer misses the near side crossbar. Auer not trying to pass it to anybody. He just says, I'm just going to go and try to tuck it in the near side. Fresh bodies coming in for Santa Fe Christian. Rob Scott, of course, back into the contest as he had got the yellow card, and Greg Wright had the last one. And officially, we have at least there's 4 players on a Christian Knights, Santa Fe, that have yellow cards. And any one of them, if they get another yellow card, they will be out, and Santa Fe will play one man down. The early ball is intercepted. It's back onto the foot of Mac Rogers, who has one of those yellow cards. The sophomore's play to the outside to his teammate, looking for Pelletier, but he was sandwiched, couldn't get to it. And the header runs onto the foot of J.J. Bailey. Bailey, who has one of the goals, to Pelletier, trying to operate, back to Bailey, and a save is made by Feiner. Scott Feiner saw the give and go, and he says, I've got to lunge and get this one, and he did it. And it is an overtime session that has ended, and we will go to the second period of sudden death, 15-minute overtime. And it's all grit and determination. It's all mental now because the juice is running out. Not much left in the tank. Stick with us. It's still tied 2-2 Division IV CIF title game. There is no intermission. They're just going to start with the second overtime, sudden death overtime period. Going from left to right is Santa Fe Christian, the Eagles, and a Bishop Knights going from right to left. As they switch side, it's kicked out of play. And a Bishop Knights will throw it in. A season that has not saw a loss for the Santa Fe Christian Knights, as this ball is played down over to Feiner, who made a great save to end that first overtime session. The header, and this one's going to go out of play to the far side touchline. It'll be a throw in for Santa Fe Christian. The unblemished season being challenged here. And the Knights, the team that had to play last night, the determination and the grit of the Knights, everything that is to be a Bishop Knight, being challenged here in a CIF Division IV title game for 2001. Man, it has been nothing but a thriller. This one is played towards the 18-yard box. Coming out is Feiner, who's played a whale of a game in the nets. Feiner's line drive on a bounce. And up over the back of Geary. Geary says, I don't need that now. I've played a lot of soccer in the last 24 hours. So they'll get the call with a foul here and an opportunity off the set piece. Everything going to be sore tomorrow, no doubt, especially for the Knights. On a beautiful ball into the 18-yard box when it's headed out by the Eagles. Headed out again by SFC, and the Knights going to get fresh bodies again. They have to. Legs are rubber. Coming in, Lamb. And he's trying to shake all the cobwebs or whatever it is to make that thing work. And coming in is Matt Mader. He's thinking the same thing. You need good, crisp plays at this point in the ball game. Down the middle now. To the outside, and they'll call in no foul. It's just going to be a throw-in. Santa Fe Christian will have it. 2-2 here in the second sudden death overtime period here at Southwestern College, the Division IV title game. Greg Porter along with Mike All on the camera, the digital camera, happy to be with you. And a beautiful game played between these two teams of the high school variety. All you like to see in soccer has been displayed today. Good moves like the one you see there. Dustin McBride, a Pelletier, the passing game again, and just at the last moment, closing the space is the Knights defender to kick it out of play. A game of inches. This isn't called the game of inches, but boy, I tell you what, no doubt, sometimes it is a game of inches. The world's greatest sport, the Knights, with a goal kick, or rather a free kick on the play. The ball is played down the middle to Dustin McBride. McBride, a good slide tackle by the Knight defender. However, he regains it, gets it over to Coruscant, and it's players putting their hands on their knees, trying to get everything left. Coming out, Feiner making a nice save. A quick turn. Mater stops it. And then directs it to Lamb. And Lamb says, I'll try to run it down. He used his body to do so. Lamb, all one-on-one. Lamb, no, he can't get it in the net. Lamb came out and said, I'll win this ball, and he did. And let's see now. They say he was tripped up in the 18-yard box, so he's going to get a penalty shot. Instead, it's going to be a corner kick. They say it was knocked off by the Bishop Knights. But Lamb helped to create that play all by himself, using his body to intercept the soccer ball and then to outrace the defender. And, of course, coming out was Justin Kern, and Kern did a beautiful play to save the game from ending. Corner kick for the Knights. It rolls over, a shot in the box, and a shot again, and they just missed. I tell you what, it doesn't get much better than this in high school soccer from a competitive level. Line drive, intercepted, knocked out by the Knights. We are in the second overtime session, midway through it. Still tied, 2-2. Here comes Santa Fe Christian's counterattack. It's kicked out by the Knights. Dieterle getting back into space. Anything left in the tank, and now a little bit of a breeze comes on the field to help out. The heat fatigue. Throw in now. And it caroms off. Santa Fe Christian players there. Still in the box. Trying to turn it up. He puts it out across the net. Across the crossbar. A big try by the Knights. Or by the Eagles on a play. I believe it was Dustin McBride that was operating on the play, and then he got it to the wide side to Riley, and Riley just couldn't get it in there to win the game. Making a play, Coruscant. Here they come again, Dustin McBride, and here's their opportunity. He shoots it, and it's wide. Feiner diving with everything he has to try to get to it. And fortunately for him and his team, it was wide. 2-2. The Knights, here's their opportunity. If you've ever watched boxing, it reminds you of a prize fight where both guys are tired and they going in that last round and they're throwing everything they have at each other to try to win a match. There's no doubt this is the way it is out here. Both teams trying to do any kind of trickery, any kind of scheme they can. All they've learned. Here's Lamb. Determination again, 1v2, and he kicks it out of play. Lamb, if he made one more move, he would have threaded himself through that second defender. But his idea is to use his ability and speed to get around him. It just went by Lamb, and now it's touched, and the Knights have it again. Putting the pressure, but coming out is Justin Kern. Kern has made good decisions in this game. He's had to do it in order to keep it tied, obviously. 2-2. Winning it. Lamb cannot operate as a defender was there. It was Pelletier. Kicked out of play. Hands trying to find a way to pull up the jersey and get something there left in the tank. There isn't much left. Players standing and watching. Santa Fe Christian has won most of the balls in this game. But the Knights, who have been determined to make plays, to find a way to get it in the net, and they've done it. The Eagles with a throw-in in their own defensive half. To the wide side of the field, trying to find a way to get around somebody who's tired. And the pass was, of course, to John Corson, but he could not control the soccer ball. Coach Malcolm Tovey, who told his team, there is no excuses as far as the fact that we played yesterday. We've got to be determined to do what it takes to win. And that mentality has been shown out there for the Knights. The Eagles, who have been victorious throughout the year, have not tasted a loss, do not want to taste it today. Handed out of play. A throw-in. Taken in, of course, by the Knights. Dieterle wants to find somebody with enough space to operate and get a good enough shot on Justin Kern. Off of Lamb, and then it goes over to Kern, and Kern gets there before another opportunity. That ball is caroming out of play, and that gives the Knights another opportunity. But time running out here in this second sudden death overtime session. The throw in. Lamb tried to head it. He couldn't get it as his teammate tried to follow him up. Auer. Down the middle, Michael Ryan, and a save.
Shot on goal by number 17,
Michael Ryan, the senior, playing in his last game with a big shot and a try there in a high school scenario. Up in the air, here's the big counter try for Santa Fe Christian Eagles. To the outside, the Eagles, Josh Riley making a move, drawing a defender. Really with a smart play, but he cannot get it back. And coming to it was Graham. However, Mater gets to it. Mater looking for Lamb. Lamb against three defenders. Lamb's going to try to get a through ball. He gets it back off the header of Auer. Santa Fe Christian. They throw it over Lamb, and he is down, so here they come. Santa Fe, the Eagles, in a corner, and Feiner comes out and makes the play. Feiner, knowing his defenders are tired, he comes out, makes a decision off the line, gets to the ball first. Smart decision by the keeper. It can be a major gamble, but it worked that time. Feiner has to make a decision as he saw at his doorstep. He didn't expect the ball to come right at him so directly. He thought it was going to be headed. But he was able to reach between his legs and be able to grab that soccer ball, cradle it with his body. Coming back now with his Moser. Moser on a counter to his teammate there. Pelletier down the middle, and Feiner is there. Good kick. Mater trying to get to it, can't do it. As Santa Fe Christian, who's won numerous balls in this game. However, playing tough right there is Alex Graham. Graham, the sophomore. But here comes the alternate number, Pelletier down the middle. Pelletier, he stays at the outside, 1v1 with a goal, he just missed. Try by J.J. Bailey. Bailey was there, and he just couldn't get it around the goalie and end the game. Coming in for the Knights will be Brett Hummel. Lamb are going to get a rest. Bernard Lamb. Line drive. Quickly touched there by Ryan, and Ryan's attempted early ball just not gotten to by his teammate. So Justin Kern sends it back up to midfield, and here they go with J.J. Bailey. He scored 1 goal in the game. Bailey to the outside. In the 18-yard box, it's won by the Knights. The Knights still on the ball, trying to find it. However, and they get it now. And a whistle, and that ends
That's the completion of the second overtime
the second overtime session.
of the Division 4 men's.
And the result
Is a 2-2 draw.
is a draw. And I guess they'll be co-champions.
Shortly, we will have the presentation of awards.
And why not? The Knights played everything that they had left in the season in 2 overtimes and a whole regulation. But they just didn't have enough to get the victorious nod here. And Santa Fe Christian was undefeated, the number 1 ranked team in Division 4 throughout 2001 and 2000, and they will not be defeated in this season. So they'll get a piece of the CIF championship, and they deserve it also.
Professional announcing, play-by-play, post-game interviews, and state-of-the-art videotaping, music.
We hope you have enjoyed all the action in the Division 4 final,
Are available here in the press box.
and we hope that you'll get to enjoy action with us again in the future. Greg Porter for George Landman Video Sports Production with Mike All on a camera, saying take care and God bless until next time from Southwestern College, where we have a co-champion, Santa Fe Christian Eagles and the Bishop Knights. Bye-bye now.
Joined by Santa Fe Christian Athletic Director Ken Hansen, Principal Nancy Beeman, and the Bishop's president, the president of the Round Table Club, Terry Metter. Introducing the Eagles of Santa Fe Christian. Here are their players. Adam Peltier. Matt Gibson. John Zublin. Rob Scott. J.J. Bailey. Josh Willie. Matt Moser. Dave Myers. Ben Morrison. Dustin McBride. Matt Rogers. Justin Kern. Alex Beltier. John Morrison. Greg Champions head coach, Mr. Paul Lyons. Co-champions, men's, Division 4, the Santa Fe Christian Eagles. And now we turn our attention to our other co-champions, the Knights of the Bishop School. Introducing the Knights, Bernard Bland, Chris Ailman, Michael Ryan, Pat Hook, Craig Moore, Jason Evans, Jay Dick, David Vance, Alex Graham, Keith Dieterle, Brett Hummel, Andrew Lunny, Billy Auer, Danny Lazar, Matt Medora, Mitchell Geary, Julius Lamb, and Scott Steiner. Assistant coach Taylor Rogers, and the head coach of our co-champions, Malcolm Tovey. Ladies and gentlemen, Division 4 co-champions on the men's side, the Knights of the Bishop School. How about a great big round of applause for both our teams? Coming up in a few moments, we will have the Women's Division 4 championship game. And Coronado takes on Francis Parker.